welcome to our session. It's great that you're here. And this is the Shiftconnector Insight Hour. So we want to give you information about new features and functionalities. And this is part of our user community events to bring across the product knowledge and to get an exchange with you to see if you have feedback, if you have any questions. So yeah, that we can stay up to date to your needs and tell you what's new. And this is the agenda for today. So we are going to start with Anja talking about the Visual Factory as one-stop shop, and then about the new features and functionalities. Then there's going to be Jonas talking about the new features for the platform, and then Christoph on the cloud topic, and Max for OEE. And just so you know, next week there will also be an event where it's going to be about Shiftconnector Go and the task management in Shiftconnector, as well as standard work, activity planning, AI in Shiftconnector with Christian, who has also just joined. And then I'm going to talk about the Knowledge Center and trainings. This is going to happen next week. And today, these are our colleagues who are going to present: Anja, Jonas, Christoph, and Max. And if you have any questions, you can just directly ask us, and you will also get the slides later this week. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Anja.
Thank you. Then you can directly go to the next slide. So first part is about the tier boards, or why visual KPI management is important. So those are the typical statements that we hear, that the information is hidden and often not communicated to the right place, like a lot regarding the visibility of data. On the other hand side, that there are data silos. So every team, or also like just other departments that kind of work closely to the manufacturing, has their own data places, own Excel sheets, and that's really inefficient to also get their information, not just only via emails and calls. And the other hand side is like measuring the KPIs takes also just some time, especially when you need to report it on morning meetings or higher meetings. It just also takes a lot of time to gather all this data together for those people. All right, let's go to the next slide. What are we doing against that with our visual KPI management? We will break down the data silos on one hand. We make sure that all the data is in one place. That leads to the case that we can resolve the issues faster, and also by that we can ensure quality and compliance, because everybody is informed at the right time, gets the data at the right spot and live, doesn't miss out any update, gets always the latest status, which helps to take also the right decision and get the right information, which also increases the productivity. So what does that mean? We did a lot in the last couple of months, and also even years, to improve how we can track the KPIs. I mean, we have a lot of data. We are gathering records every day, every minute. We're gathering a lot of information. So what can we do with that information? On one hand, we can visualize it, which is of course nothing new. But on the other hand side, we also implement a lot of features and functionalities that you can collaborate it. So assuming we have here a KPI on our dashboard that shows us our safety incidents grouped by the departments or teams or lines, and you can click on it, you get the deep dive and drill down of the information. You can immediately also add tasks, you can assign the tasks directly, and all out of that dashboard. You do not need to switch systems. It's all fully automated to directly take actions based on the measures of the KPIs that you found. And exactly here we have a little video. I think maybe you need to click quickly there. Yes. So here you can see a short video how it works. So the data is directly connected with Shiftconnector data. It can also be something from other systems, external systems. It's also easy to embed. And like you can see, you can easily switch on those in the dashboards. You can also implement your own lists in here. So kind of whatever you need, you prepare on the dashboards. Also here, it's another level. It's based on the Shift team. So it's maybe just the last 24 hours, just the information that they want to see. So also like depending on the persona or the person that is looking at the dashboard, we also want to adjust it according to their needs. And yeah, there are just quite some examples from us what we can do with the data. This is all just coming from the records of the people putting in the data every day. And yeah, basically it's really impressive what we can take out of this data and learn out of it. And yeah, just to give you a brief overview, what are the latest features there? So basically, next slide, please. We made the administration like as easy as possible. Also here, I think it's on video. It's also what you see is what you get abroad. You can easily drag and drop it to resize it. We have a bunch of default KPIs and widgets that can be directly used. And also the configuration of every widget is no code configuration. So also with the filters, how we are used to select them with structure items and categories, that's all there and applicable. So that was just a short example of the administration. That was a big topic that we did. On the next slide. We also introduced a few new widget types. So the latest ones are the status and the gauge chart, which means also with few simple filters that you can set up, you can show those different KPI types for lagging or leading indicators. So on one hand, the status tile, which is basically how you know it, like for example, the traffic light KPI, red, yellow, green, you can easily set up where you can distinguish between please count me the records. For example, for the failures, this is something that please count me how often I had a failure. You can sum fields, so you can also, when you have the downtime on a failure form template, you can also sum that up. Also use this as a KPI, or the day since last incident, typically for, yeah, exactly that KPI is also easily available. Same goes for the gauge chart, which usually is used for performance KPIs. Next to that, we have a bunch of other KPIs. So when it comes just about the types, like you can see, we've had some heat maps, we had some bar charts, line graphs, and so on, etc. We have there now over 28 of those predefined KPIs that can be easily adjusted to your needs, with some best practices for what kind of KPIs they can be used, that are fully interactive. But on the other hand side, we have this whole dashboard solution in the background, where you can even like customize your own KPIs for this purpose. All right, then to features that you're using, definitely the 360. I'm not sure about the plan status anymore.
We are still using it.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. All right. Good. Let's come first to the 360 improvements. So what did we do there in the last year? So on one hand, on one hand, we did a lot in a configuration. Now you can also copy and paste the configuration from one line to another. So then you just need to adjust the filters, basically. But it also saves a lot of time for the people setting up new sheets quite often. And the other case would be for the tenant transfers, where we also have now a full import and export feature, which led to a lot of hours of effort on our hand side to get the new tenant up and ready. And that's also something that we automated now. Then for the user, what's there new? So a lot of UX improvements we implemented. Like you can also see, it looks a bit more clean. We used a bit more space. I think also that was also feedback from you guys, where we have those 3 columns, for example, and we just used so much space to display, or yeah, had a lot of white space within the cards. And on the other hand side, we also did a lot in the background. So we were able to kind of improve the performance up to 85% when you have a lot of records and data on it. And yeah, we have now section picker, especially when you have a big overview for the shift supervisor, for example, that is showing all the sub shift books. You can now easily jump to those groups. And yeah, on the other hand side, on the right hand side, we can now hide the groups without the entries. And another case that we also had with another client was the font size. So in this case, it was when they had like rather small laptops or bad resolution screens. Yeah, that was really mainly not possible for them to read, and now we can also manually adjust it. Then on the plan status, so just purely talking about the new one, because yeah, the old one is mainly for us, yeah, just supporting in case something goes wrong, but fully focusing on the new one. So what's definitely new, but the old one was not capable of doing, is a status filter. So you can also now filter by the ones that are in critical or on breakdown or whatever, and you would just see those equipments that have the current status. We also have the historical view since a while now, and also the printout is now supported in the latest version. Yes, here also a short video how this works, and then yeah, basically filter option for that. I think we can skip that. Yes, that's also one of our latest features. It's the limit violations. Here it's basically when, for example, a filling level of a tank is below 20% or so, we can also highlight that in the plan status. That is also one of the latest features now. So in this case, we have the temperature example. You can also see it here, like, you know, it maybe from the checklists that we show this low or low or high indicator. That would then also help the users to easier understand if some values are out of range.
Great.
And this new column, it's called the related entries, which literally shows like all entries of events, tasks, and instructions that have happened in a certain time or have a certain status, but where exactly this equipment was mentioned. So for example, I had a downtime on the reactor 1001 6 hours ago, but now it's okay again, the status is green again. I would not easily see it, but now with the related entries, I would also get an indicator about that. Or maybe there's a task open for exactly that equipment, or an instruction about changing the driving parameters. So you have here like a links or hyperlinks to easily open exactly those entries. Yeah, further improvements also here. We did a lot in terms of performance. We are also supporting more field types that we didn't support before. It's also possible we had some system fields like the description or priority or status before. Now this can also be hidden now. And also here we supported this as export-import feature to easier switch from QA to production systems. So to not do everything manually.